it's Steve with Silbar Homes, and I'm here with a very special guest. This is Matt Gilbreath. He is the owner and head brewmaster at Abode Brewing in North Spokane. So welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, actually, Matt was a guest on my original show before Park Bench, so this is kind of a follow-up, which is pretty cool. So, can you describe Humble Abode for somebody who's never been here before?
You know, we created this to have a gathering spot for a neighborhood. We wanted to be kind of a neighborhood coffee shop that actually sold beer instead. There's quite a few business models out there that you know, my wife and my family have visited breweries, and these are the places that we kind of seek out. So it started as a hobby, and we wanted a place to be able to just sell a little bit of our stuff, just to kind of see. It never was intended to be what it is right now. So yeah, I mean, we try to create a family atmosphere. Before COVID, we had a foosball table. We had games all over the tables. Now that's a little different, considering. But yeah, I mean, it's that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to create a place that you could come and feel comfortable and have some beers, and we have food trucks and eat and drink and be happy, and bring your families and have a good time.
Excellent.
So
yeah, it's interesting with any small business or any business really, you've got to do that research and development, look at your competition and grow things. So it's kind of cool that yours is visiting other breweries. Which is pretty cool.
Yeah. And it's funny you say competition, because in essence we are kind of all competing for the dollar, but we're all collaborating as well. So in the brewing community, we're all in this together. And we know that the brewery community, as far as like the patrons that come to our places, they're not like brand loyal or company loyal. They like to go places, so they'll come here and have a beer, and they'll go, hey, where should I go next? And so we kind of lead them in the right direction. So it's a cool thing. We're competitors, but we're not. Right. You know what I mean? It's kind of it's a weird thing, and I love it. I mean, I think it's it's a little different than my retail days.
Yeah. Well, it's pretty cool, because if you do well and everybody does well, that's good for everybody collectively.
Right.
You can't just have one that's doing well, the rest, aren't.
Right.
So that is really
and it's
good.
great for Spokane too. I mean, we were just down at Riverfront the other day, and I was just like, I was blown away on how amazing it looks down there.
Yeah.
And these larger breweries that are popping up, it's good for everybody. We want Spokane to be a destination place, like Seattle or Portland or Bend or whatever. So it's becoming that. I think that people want to come here, which is great.
Yeah. So you just gave me a business idea. I'll talk to you after off camera.
All right.
So,
good.
So let me ask you this: now that your business is off the ground, what motivates you?
We've got, I guess the main motivation, it's not money. I mean, you don't get into this industry to be rich, to make, a ton of money.
Yeah.
You get into it because you like the community. And, we try to, use, a lot of our resources to, help the community. We do donations. Each Christmas we try to do a giving tree. So I think the motivation is more like, trying to be more involved in the community and help this community grow. And obviously, we have to pay the bills, so it's a thing. And what's cool is now we have 3 employees. We started with just me and Courtney, and then we went with Sterling, and now we have Darren and Jake. And I love to be able to help them support their families and what they want to do in their life. And that's another big motivation. It's like, man, the busier we are, the more you can be here, and it's a cool thing for us.
Excellent. So what do you think the customers love most about Humble Abode?
You know what? I think it's the atmosphere. I think that from what people have told us, we're welcoming. Courtney kind of started this whole thing, like the welcoming atmosphere. It's funny because our first few days open, she would say, welcome to our humble abode. And I kind of gave her some crap about it, which I feel bad about now, because she was trying to create that atmosphere and get people's names, talk to them, and she would remember people's names. And it's weird because I think that some of the breweries in town picked up on that, and they started like, man, we should probably know our customers, especially like the smaller breweries. Like, the bigger ones, it's a little hard because they're turning so many people and they have a bunch of employees and things like that. But we're a mom and pop, man. Like we want to know you, and we want you to come back and feel comfortable coming back and have a great experience every time you're here. Absolutely. So I feel like, to answer the question, I feel like they like the environment, they like the atmosphere here, and they like that we're welcoming, and we try to portray that to our employees, the people that work with us, and we watch it. We're like, hey, we want to make sure that you're displaying those same things that we're displaying.
Right.
So
excellent. So what are your goals over the next year?
Oh man, well, we rented another spot, so growth. It's weird. We like I said earlier, when we got into this, we had no idea what we're going to do. But you can't stay stagnant, right? If the demand is there, I think you have to listen to it, and then I think you have to go. You have to kind of go with it. So we rented the spot at the very end down here, Suite 100. It is about 3,000 square feet. We're hoping to put in just a little micro kitchen for brewery food. We have an outdoor area down there. We will brew specifically here, and then this will be like event space. We're not changing this at all. This is the front of house is going to stay the same. The tables will be here, the TVs, the music, everything. So we want to kind of have this as more an event space. If we do like a mug club party, or somebody wants a reception here, or we do a beer dinner, this is kind of where we want to have it. And then, we want to be 7 days a week down at the other spot. So that's kind of, the goals this year is obviously to grow a little bit, expand our team a little bit, and just keep on trucking,
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, 2020 was a tough year for everybody.
Yeah.
How did you guys cope or pivot your business to work through 2020?
Oh man, it was, March, end of March, we kind of knew, and there was all these rumblings and things, right. And then the governor gets on and just says everybody shut down.
Yeah.
So I put a post out because I was upset. I'm like, well, we're closed, and then I was like, wait a minute. We can actually be open, but for to-go.
Yeah.
So I immediately deleted the post and said, we're going to do to-go. And for, 8 weeks or so? Is that about 8 weeks was the first quarantine?
Yeah, the first one, right.
We were open, so we never closed. We closed one day on a Sunday because we ran out of cans. And then so I put out a post, we're going to be open Thursday, Friday, and Saturday from 3 to 6 going forward. So 12 hours a week. It was insane. People showed up. People came in their cars. People ordered. We had to create a website, which is unheard of, right? Like buy your beer on a website and come pick it up. Like buy online, pick up in the store. It was weird. But we did that. It's still going. And we never shut down. Not one day, other than when we ran out of supplies.
Yeah.
And then after that, the 2 days that we shut down were due to smoke.
Yeah. So
the pivot was try to figure this out because we have bills to pay. We have people to pay. We never laid anybody off. Everybody was paid. Actually, everybody worked more because in those 3 hours that we were open, it was a 3-person job. I mean, it was insane. So first of all, thanks Spokane, for showing up. We're nothing without them showing up. The other thing is, then they reopened us, and then they said, just kidding, and then they shut us down again, but we could be outside. Well, the outside was freezing.
Right.
So we put tents up, we bought heaters, we made the outdoor space super comfortable. I mean, it was warm out there, and when it was 18 degrees, people were showing up. I mean, it was insane.
Yeah.
And that's how we pivoted. I mean, it was we did canning lines. We've done tons of to-go, curbside, all of that. It's so which has helped us. I mean, going forward, I'm always going to have this outdoor area set up.
Why not?
During the winter, I'll be outside. I'll have heaters. I already bought them all. I mean,
exactly.
It's an investment, and now we're going to be down at that other space, but I'll definitely have outdoor. Yeah. A lot of people like to come sit outside during the winter.
Yeah. So if it's enjoyable, why not?
Yeah.
It's something different.
Yeah. I mean, I put a TV on a stand. I wheeled it out. We watched the Super Bowl because we couldn't be inside.
Right.
We watched Gonzaga games out there. Put lights up around the tent. I mean, it was cool.
Excellent.
So yeah.
So let me ask you. You recently participated in the Leicester Cup. Can you tell people what the Leicester Cup is and how that all came together?
Yeah. So Mountain Lakes started it. They have some wacky story about a guy named Leicester who's I think like a roller skate champion or something. I don't know the actual details. And then they found his trophy at the bottom of an ocean or something, and so they created a Leicester Cup. So initially it was, I want to say 4 breweries, which was Bellwether, Mountain Lakes, Whistle Punk, and somebody else. Who was it? Anyway, and then expanded to Grain Shed, which they came on board. And then they expanded. I kind of talked to them. I was like, "Hey, we're newer. We'd like to get people up north. It'll kind of spread it out a little bit." And so we went that route. And you go to each brewery. Initially, you go to each brewery. You buy their Leicester Cup beer, which is picked. The categories picked by the winner of the previous one. Like the last one was pastry stouts.
Right.
So we all did pastry stouts. And the next one coming up is lawnmower beers. So it's going to be something light and crisp and
Excellent.
Something you can drink on a
seasonal
100-degree day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a friendly competition. Pivoting into that, we wanted to keep the Leicester Cup going. So the last 2 Leicester Cups we did 6-packs.
Mm-hmm.
So because a lot of places weren't open, so we kind of flipped on that and said, well, we're just going to do 6-packs.
Right.
And the first one we did 100 6-packs, or we did a barrel each. And I think that was like 77 6-packs each or something. We sold them in like 3 days.
Yeah.
And then this one, we're like, well, let's double it. We did 2 barrels. And we sold them all within, I think, 3 or 4 weeks. Every brewery was sold out in 3 or 4 weeks.
Right.
It was the biggest turnout that we've had. So we're unsure on the summer one, like if we're going to do cans or, because everybody's open now.
Right.
So, and I like the idea of just having them go to the different places, but
Sure.
we'll discuss that and figure that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a fun competition.
So anything exciting going on customers should know about to get a preview of?
We're going to try to do, we have a traditional German Berliner Weisse beer in the tank right now. And we want to, it's a sour, are you familiar with that style?
Mm-hmm.
So a nice light 3.5% beer, tart, so it's a sour beer. And we want to try to kind of call out like what the European purity laws are, which are the Reinheitsgebot, which means you can only use the 4 ingredients in beer. Hops were just added recently, the last couple 100 years or whatever. So it's hops, water, yeast, and barley. You cannot put fruit in it. You cannot put, like in America, we butcher that, right? We put fruit and cinnamon and all these different things in our beers to make them what they are today. So we actually have a 3.5% traditional German Berliner Weisse in the tank. And we have it served with Woodruff syrups and their raspberry, which is him beer, I think. So we're going to serve that beer by itself if you want, or you can get syrups with it, and then you mix in your syrups to the beer, and it kind of cuts that tartness out.
Oh, nice.
And just makes it a little sweeter. So we want to kind of bring back a little German tradition to America. We're going to do it this week, but we thought, well, it's kind of weird on an Irish holiday that we're calling out a German beer. But
right.
So that's really just we're changing beers so much. Food trucks are here. Come summer, we're hoping to have a food truck pretty much every day we're open.
Excellent.
So
okay. So let me ask you this: if a young person were to ask you for advice on how to live their life, what would you tell them?
Listen to your parents. Listen to your parents. No, I mean, follow your dreams. This is, don't let anybody try to hold you back, I guess. I mean, this was just a forethought. I mean, when I was growing up, I wanted to, when I was going to college, went to college to own my own business someday. I never thought it would be this. I just, I didn't know what it would be. I didn't really have a lot of passions at that time. I mean, it was just kind of like, get your school done and work and make money and blah, blah, blah. And so we just kind of came into this and, this is it. Like, this is what we're going to do until the day we don't do it anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
sure.
it's fun. It's a lot of work, but as long as you're passionate about with what you're doing, then it's gonna take off, and people will respect that and do it. So, I guess, it sounds cliche, right? Like, follow your dreams.
Right.
But whatever your dreams are, like, you want to be a Fortnite player on YouTube, and you're really good at it. I'm not going to hold somebody back for that. Like,
go all in.
Do it. So anyway, that's.
If you can do anything, be good at it.
That's exactly right.
So
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to always say, when I was younger, that I might have worked in the hotel industry or as in technology, and people would say, well, is this where you want to be? And I said, I don't know what I want to be when I grow up.
Right.
So I'm going to do the best job I can now and gain as much knowledge as I can, and then when I figure it out, just put it all together.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Is real estate that? I don't know. There might be something else out there after this.
You're doing this too.
Yeah.
So this is good. It's promoting, and you said something that reminded me of kind of my motto or my life mantra right now is I'm exactly where I want to be. You know what I mean? It's kind of a cool thing. Like, I get goosebumps when I said that. But I'm exactly where I want to be. People are like, well, you get a 20-barrel system and distribution is. You know what? We're exactly where we want to be in our life right now at this point.
Yeah.
And once we get that space built, maybe that's where exactly where we want to be. Or maybe we do go bigger. But at that point, that's something we're going to decide on as a me and my wife and as a team. We're going to decide on that, and that's exactly where we're going to want to be.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
Great. Okay, well, thanks again, Matt. Truly appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can reach Humble Abode on Facebook, on Instagram, or their website, which is humbleabode.
It's just humbleabodebrewing.com.
Humbleabodebrewing.com. I had the longer version, but humbleabodebrewing.com.
Yep.
So thanks again to Matt. Again, thanks for watching Silbar Homes. If you have any needs or curiosity or questions about real estate, if you're thinking of selling, if you're thinking of buying or investing, just reach out. You can reach me at silbarhomes.com or Google me and find a dozen ways to find me online. So thanks again, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, my friend.
Of course. Thanks, Steve.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.